is large.
No, venti is 20.
Danny.
Yeah. Large is large. In fact, tall is large, and grande is Spanish for large. Venti's the only one that doesn't mean large. It's also the only one that's Italian. Congratulations, you're stupid in 3 languages.
Honey, that's great coffee. It's
Smell good ground coffee.
I'm going to transfer to yours. Oh, there's not enough room for all my genius, so I'm leaving you with my fear of wicker furniture, my desire to play the trumpet, my tentative plans to purchase a hat, and 6 years of improv workshops. Comedy comes in 3s. It's a trap! Abort! We never left it!
Now, the joke there is he says 4 things. Comedy comes in 3s, and then he said 4 things. So I always thought that was funny. It's ironic. Good morning. I'm enjoying my delicious coffee. And I see everybody is here. I want to say hi to everybody. Jacob, of course, a good friend of ours. Keith, my partner in crime, is watching. It's Oddballs Fellowship of Courtney's. Yes, it's Oddballs Fellowship of Courtney's. That's what I'm calling you from now on. Or shorten your name. Let's see. Of course, my other partner in crime is Martin Acosta Santana. Glad to see you, buddy. He's here watching the chat. Floral from Under a Rock is here. Good friend. Glad you're here, buddy. Let's see. Who else has joined us this morning? Anybody else? Oh, the lovely Sherry. Oh, no. I would have a lot. Oh, no. I don't think I can handle all this beauty in my chat. Oh, thank God. Das Wolfen is here to balance it out. Morning, Das Wolfen. And I guess I should, just for shits and giggles, say, Guten Morgen, meine Damen und Herren. Es ist Morgenkaffee mit Gerry. So, yeah, my German's not great. It's all right. I'll survive. Yes, that is from the movie Role Models with Sean William Scott and Paul Rudd. I still don't know why we didn't get a sequel to that film. I fucking love that movie. Yeah, it's time to start the show. Yummy coffee. This is I like Folgers. That's why I put that at the end of the video, because I'm a big fan of Folgers instant coffee. If I'm going to have instant coffee, I like Folgers. And because they do that, the freeze-dry process really does hold in the flavor. And then I'm a big fan of the French vanilla creamers. And so that's what I'm having this morning. Not too sweet. I don't like it overly sweet. I like my coffee the way I like my women. Hot and in a cup. You are too handsome. I'm just fuck with you, buddy. I need that caffeine boost. Ugh. I woke up late because I didn't go to bed till 3 o'clock this morning, so I don't get a full night's sleep anymore. I haven't in a long time. As an artist, you just don't sleep very much. But let's see. What did I want to talk about today? Is I grew up on these guys. They're cutting edge, and everything they did. Johnny Carson was funny when he did his stand-up with his monologues, but he was also funny as an interviewer. And of course, the name of the episode is Comedy Comes in Threes. A lot of people don't know what that means. Is Charlie Chaplin once said that all he needed to do a comedy was a park, a policeman, and a girl. 3. Many jokes are based on 3 characters. 3 characters walk into a bar. And that's what I was saying about what Rick said there. Rick Sanchez was, he names 4 things and says comedy comes in threes. It's like, no, you said 4 things. And that was the joke. And then, of course, for me growing up, the 3 comedians that impacted me, because like when I was a kid, I would say it was Johnny Carson, Don Rickles, and Richard Pryor. And then it became Eddie Murphy, and but then he got surpassed, and it became Johnny Carson, Don Rickles, and Norm Macdonald in 1988, 89. And I only happened into Norm Macdonald because I was doing a voice one day, and somebody said, "You sound like Norm Macdonald," and I'm like, "Who the fuck is Norm Macdonald?" So I had to go find out. And so let's see. Let me. I got a little clip here.
We put together a list of phrases that you will never hear. We started this about a month ago, and we said probably one phrase that's the least often used phrase in the entire world was, "That's the banjo player's Porsche."
Yeah, they did laugh, but I wanted to cut it off because I don't want to get busted, get a claim. Carson just all the way until the end of his career, it was just this guy that could really hold a crowd, and he knew how to talk to people. It's one of the things I loved about Carson, and he had a big impact on me, even when I was doing, interviews for magazines. I would always approach the person because Carson would say things about, he would tell either a real story or a fake story about himself, often to get his guests to relax, or crack jokes to get his guests to relax. And he always made them feel very welcome. And I still think to this day, he and Craig Ferguson are the 2 best late night interviewers. And funny. Don't get me wrong, I like David Letterman at times, but I think he's kind of a dick to people, and I didn't like that. The way he would be kind of mean to some people. But then there's Don Rickles, who was something else. He was so insulting, and he was cutting edge. He made race jokes all the time, and everybody laughed. Even those of that race were laughing their butts off. And a lot of the stuff he would say was spur of the moment, just shit that popped into his head. He always admitted that he didn't do a lot of writing for his comedy. And I always liked that. It's his stories that he would write down, and then he would improv around those stories. And here's an example of him improving at a roast.
I want to thank Marty Allen, who just came out from Safari. Oh, Marty Allen, the one with the spear and the safari haircut. Good luck to you. Loan it to the black guys in case they have a luau.
Just like, what? And then, of course, Monkey Jeebus is here too. Hey, Monkey. D-Bub, what's up, dude? I saw you last night. By the way, last night was a great show. I think it was one of the best that I've been on with Nick Weiser. We did Toxic Tuesday. I'm now a regular on the show. I'm loving hanging out with those guys. That is a fun fucking show. It's almost as fun as because I like doing all the shows that we do. But my 2 favorites are doing Scoop Zone, which will air tomorrow at 5:00 Central Standard Time. And then I love doing Shit Talk with Steven, because it's just Steven and I hanging out doing what we do. Shit talk about things and busting on each other. It's a lot of fun. But Norm Macdonald is, in my opinion, the one comedian who absolutely does not, or did not, God rest his soul, give a fuck. What he wanted to do was say what was in his head And those that get it and like it laugh, and those who don't like it can fuck off. He doesn't care. And this is a prime example of him not giving a shit.
Safer drivers, men or women? Well, according to a new survey, 55% of adults feel that women are most responsible for minor fender benders, while 78% blame men for most fatal crashes. Please note that the percentage in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman.
Zero fucks given by that guy. He had some of the funniest sexist jokes I ever heard. It's like, and the thing that's funny about any of those things is that you're laughing at something that you know is wrong when you laugh at it, but you're like, that is so fucked up. Why would you say that? And that's what makes it fun. And it made him very endearing too, because when you look at other comedians in the industry, almost every single comedian will say the best of them was Norm Macdonald. What is this? It's great with all you guys on Nick's Toxic Tuesday. The Porky Show left me in pain from laughing so much. Yeah, that was a great one too. But last night, the Rocky 2 episode, my God, when we went to the homoerotic moment, the show could have derailed, but it didn't. But God, that was funny. It was like 10 minutes of just like, we stopped the movie and just completely derailed the show for homoerotic jokes. Oh, does it, Ironcaster? That's awesome. Because I haven't heard from Tom. Tom gets busy and he forgets me. It's okay. I forgive him. And I'm talking about Tom Waltz at IDW. We've been friends for 20-some years. And they'll be sending me, IDW will be sending me some, and then I'm going to order some extra ones that I can sell through here to you guys. And or if you guys come to the cons that I'm at, you can just buy them straight from me at the conventions. Don Rickles is one of my favorites because if he roasted you, there were times you had to OBJ, excuse my burp, coffee makes me burp, the joke, because he expected you to be intelligent enough to get it. I can tell you, nothing funnier than doing a jumbo 747 over somebody's head with a joke. Definitely. And I don't know. I like dark humor a lot. Robin Williams. Well, the problem with Robin is if you don't know the controversy of Robin, and I don't think he ever did it intentionally, but he was a notorious joke stealer. But he was also very good with paying comedians money if they felt he had. And he would apologize because here's the way it was. He had a deep drawer. This is like Dennis Miller, a deep drawer with a very fast retrieval system to getting to stuff. And sometimes he would retrieve something that maybe he didn't come up with, but that he remembered that so spontaneously still shows how fucking intelligent he was. And I loved watching him improv. And but like I said, you know, there weren't really complaints. There were just statements that, yeah, he would borrow jokes from people. And most people felt that it was unintentional because he was working so quickly. And but he very, very helpful to a lot of comedians coming up writing their jokes, would pay him money, even if he didn't steal their joke. I remember one guy was talking about he would just come in and want to watch other comedians, and after each gig he would pay that comedian a little extra money because probably something in there inspired him that might spark something with him later. I don't know, but he was just really good with comedians. What's up, Lord Thoth? How are you doing, my friend? Socks, you are here. Lindsay, the cynical geek. And oh wait, who's this? Isaj Matobi? Oh, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Melody? I don't know how to pronounce it, man. I apologize. You know, consonants followed immediately by a vowel really throw the fuck out of me. Yeah, he absorbed things very much so, Arwen. And you would think that he would be high on my list, and I think for 1 year he might have jumped up there, because Jonathan Winters too, and Jonathan Winters was on Mork and Mindy too. He was a guy that just he was the true master of improv comedy, above even Robin Williams. Was Jonathan Winters. Uh, And what's really sad when you find this out is a lot of these guys with brains like that suffered from mental illness, depression, uh, all sorts of things. Jonathan Winters, between the 60s and 70s, had been in and out of mental wings or hospitals because he suffered horribly from depression. And it would become, as borderline personality disorder. I think was one thing that was brought up with him, that he was borderline personality disorder. Damn, I popped over to buy your comic, but it is the incentive variant, so has to wait until I get paid next. Yeah, that's no worries. I don't have it yet. And I don't feel comfortable selling something I don't physically have in my hand yet. I don't know if he was so much a mentor to Robin Williams, but he definitely was an inspiration to Robin. Definitely. I saw something about Steve Martin. Where did I see that? There it is. I love Steve Martin. His early stuff is... Well, I used to borrow from him all the time too, because he's an abstract comic. He really does go for a mix of irony and just out there comedy, like the Get Small Pill. I don't know if anybody even remembers that. He did it on Saturday Night Live back in the 70s, and it really had an impact on me. I was doing the routine the next day in school, the whole thing. But I got to tell you, man, Steve Martin is brilliant in his storytelling. And if you've never read his book, Cruel Shoes, I read it when I was in high school. I recognized the genius of Steve Martin with that book, an actual book that was published by him right around 1980 called Cruel Shoes. Cruel, Brian, cruel. It's a fantastically weird book, and it gives you a glimpse into his genius. He's an amazing writer. Robin Williams was a customer in my comic shop in the late 80s. Our fathers had both recently died when he came in once, and we talked about our dads for 2 hours. I love that. That's amazing. Good on you, man. I mean, to have a personal experience with Robin Williams by itself, man, that's something else. I have friends in the military that were taking him to USO shows, and he kept them in stitches the whole... Oh, of course. That guy was always on when he was around people, which is part of the thing that would exhaust him, and he suffered heavily from depression. Cocaine really did help him a lot. Cocaine made his fucking career. Mwodi. Okay, Mwodi is how it's pronounced, but you can call me anything except late for dinner, please. Polish is just spoken Wi-Fi passwords. Okay. So the first name is really interesting. Isaj. Is that right? Did I say it right? Isaj. What's Steve Martin SNL singing King? Oh my God! Yes, I remember when that aired. I had my own TV in my room as a kid. One of those rare things that most kids didn't. But I inherited the TV it was a portable TV, a Hitachi, that my dad bought when he kidnapped me, and we would watch TV in the car. It would plug into the lighter, and we'd watch. As we moved into a new town, we'd spin the wheel until something came in, and we watch it until it faded out, and do it again, and did that clear across the country from Phoenix to Virginia. And When we got to Virginia, moved in, Dad bought a TV for the living room, and I got this small TV. So I watched TV back when most kids didn't have TVs in their rooms, and it really did not help with my being an introvert. Really didn't. Isoj is a variation of Jesse. Yeah. And about my name, I was going to say, a lot of people don't know that it wasn't until the 20th century that the G in a lot of names started going soft. German, in German, G is pronounced like a K. And in Ireland, because that's where my name comes from, they pronounced it Gary. It came from Gerald, because that's how Gerald used to be pronounced, was Gerald, and Gerard. And that's the derivation of my name, and why it is pronounced that way, because my great aunt was from Derry, Ireland, and she named my dad, and my dad, being an asshole, gave it to me. I'm like, thanks, Dad. You didn't have enough trouble with that name growing up? Yeah, thanks for sharing, you bastard. Let's see. Oh, Pops is here. What's up, man? Hold on a second. I want to get back to Dustwolfen. As I said before the show started, my comics are George Carlin, Dave Chappelle. Oh, yes, Gabriel. I know who Gabriel is. Carlin is the voice of Generations. Chappelle's Carlin, and this generation's Carlin, and Iglesias speaks to me personally. I'm a little worried about that. You might need medication. But everybody's got their favorites. My favorites are just very specifically because Don Rickles, when he burned you or said something mean, he was also not really being mean. What he was doing was pulling you in, embracing you with some heat. And Norm Macdonald, unlike Don Rickles, would make jokes that were very scathing and really edgy, but in the way he told them to you, he would turn off into a story, and that's why I love him. And the way he was always looking for the perfect joke, and the perfect joke was just simply a situation that was screaming a punchline to be said. And that's how a lot of his writing went. He would find a situation and then find the absolute best ironic response to that situation. And that's how he did the news on Saturday Night Live. If you go back and watch it, everything's a real situation, and then he delivers the ironic response to it. I love Dave Thomas and Rick Moranis. I never saw them really as comedians, but they are comics. They are comedic actors. They were really good at situational comedy. And that's because they came up through Second City. Second City is not about stand-up. Second City is about situational comedy. And they were really two of the best at it. And I loved them when they were together. I wish we could get another movie from them, man, because I miss them so much. I own the special edition of Strange Brew. It's one of my favorite films from the 80s. Andrew Dice Clay, he was extremely insulting and bad, put down comedian. Was so bad he got banned by HBO. How do you get banned by HBO? Well, look, Andrew's character is who got banned. Andrew's actually a really nice guy in private. But he's got a lot of haters, I didn't hate him. I didn't get into his comedy, but he did. Like, to this day, I who's gonna forget, Little Miss Tuffet sat on her Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider, sat down beside her and said, "Hey, bitch, what's in the bowl?" I mean, that's fucking funny. And I remember when I saw the movie, and he was good in the movie. I love the movie Ford Fairlane. And in the Army, because I watched it on Post. And one of my buddies in the Army, Fisher. He and I, whenever we'd see each other, go, "Hey, Gerry," and I go, "Hey, Kyle, here's to you sucking my dick." And I thought that was funny because we took it into real life. Yeah, my problem. Look, I didn't really laugh at a lot of what Andrew did, but I understood he was. What he did is that he wasn't even him. He stole that from Jerry Lewis in The Nutty Professor. That's who that character is. Andrew Dice Clay is the cool version of Jerry Lewis's character in The Nutty Professor. He absolutely stole it. And he's a big Jerry Lewis fan. And he's let the world know that many a time. Does a great Jerry Lewis impression. But he's just the character. Andrew Dice Clay's character on stage came from the movie Making the Grade. The character he plays in that film is Dice. Yeah, but I'm telling you, he took that character from Jerry Lewis from the movie Nutty Professor. When he's the cool guy, I can't remember what he went by in the movie because Buddy Love. Holy shit! It just popped into my head. Buddy Love. Dice is based on Buddy Love from Jerry Lewis. Royal Canadian Institute of Mentally Insane. Hey, that's a loony bin. American Psycho. Yeah, that is a really good movie. I got the unrated version, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I was blown away with what they did with that film. My grandma met Jerry Lewis and developed a little bit of a friendship. He gave her flowers one time. That's sweet. Once again, another connection story. I like that when you meet somebody and have that connection. Like I was talking about when Deanna, my wife, met William Shatner. Had no idea. She was 9 years old. She didn't know shit about science fiction. Met him, and all they talked about was horses. And then when she finished her walk down, he walked with her all the way down those 2 blocks. They finished their conversation, and she crossed the street and never saw him again. And then it was in the paper the next day who it was, and it blew her mind, even though she still didn't know who Captain Kirk was or anything. It's like, oh, that's the man I talked to. Hold on, I'm sorry. My favorite Jerry Lewis movie is tied between The Delicate Delinquent and Disorderly Orderly. I like them all. The Bellboy, Cinderfella. But I loved everything he did with Dean Martin too. My God, man, those two. I didn't think it was possible to find somebody that was more natural together than Abbott and Costello or Laurel and Hardy. And man, I think they were really one of the best movie comedy duos right there. I wouldn't either, because Gerry admitted to it later that there was a lot of envy and jealousy of Dean, which is what led to the breakup. And he was always trying to find a way to be as cool as him. Oh, yeah. The Geisha Boy. That was a good one. Who is not scary as Hunter? Where is this? Wait, I missed something. Oh, Christian Bale. Gotcha. I don't think, is he going to be in Highlander? I don't know. What are we talking about with him in Highlander? I could, you know what? Updates in my chat with Keith. Keith has sent me messages on Facebook. I will check those out later, Keith. Let me go to Twitter. Let's see what's going on over at Twitter. Over on Facebook, I see that Mikey Sutton's book is doing really well. Let me share screen. Share screen. Boom, baby. Bam. Dreamwalker. That's Mikey Sutton's comic. I will be working on a comic with him. Oh, this is our good friend. And she still is technically a member of Pop Culture Minefield. She was on our show for a while. She had some problems with being on the show with the internet. but she's an amazing little makeup artist. Works in film. That's Brittany. She's awesome. Stars don't care about your ads. Anything new? What's this? Oh, Socks has a poster. I just don't get how a show like Legends of Tomorrow got canned by Discovery. Look at how stunning and brave their booster goal was. Actually, I love that guy. I mean, the show was more about, yes, and that's true. That was why Keith and I didn't watch it, because it wasn't very good. You're right, Socks. You're right in everything you say here. The show wasn't based on any real characters from any of the popular comics. It was Greg Berlanti getting his wish, his dream, and his dream cost millions of dollars to Warner, and so they got rid of it. That is my friend Richard Bonk with his mother. Richard Bonk is, of course, a Marvel and DC comic artist buddy of mine that I've worked with now on 4 comics together. I love Richard. He's a good friend of mine. Don't like that prick. Good writer, not that great. What is my Wolvie? Wolvie says Mikey Sutton has been reporting this for a while. Looks like we're getting another big event film. Oh yeah, with the setup for the Secret Wars. This is our good friend Fahim. He's been on our show several times. Hollywood actor. Here he is doing an interview. This is an amazing guy. You've heard his story if you've watched our channel, because we love having him on. And he is going to be coming back this summer as soon as he's done shooting. He worked on Bosch Legacy, or Bosch, whatever the new series is. I love it, by the way. Great show. I also talked to Phil Morris about his new work, because he's one of the possible bad guys this season on Bosch. And going to try to get him back on this summer. Both he and Fahim are on Bosch, and I'm just a huge fan of that show. These guys are good. Rochelle is with a really interesting band, and I got to meet them and hang out with them at the Ren Festival. Really good. It's like folk punk is the best way to describe what they do. And great freaking music. They're going to come on and they're going to perform a song on Pop Culture Minefield. It's the first time we've ever done it, have live music. Ooh, this is really nice. Javier is a great freaking artist. Look at that shit. Oh my God. Don't care. Oh, this was good news, that the potential of a new Sam Raimi movie, Darkman. Oh, James Hong. This is nice. And of course, our friend Tom Conkle posted this. I'm such a big fan of James Hong, and there's my experience with something weird and meeting somebody. Is James Hong would call my house because I ran the Blade Runner fan club, Blade Zone. We got to know each other. And very friendly man. He would just call me. And the first time he left a message at my house, it went exactly like this. Hello, Gary. This is James Hong. I only do eyes. Call me. And I'm doing an impression of how he said it. It just slayed me. I really love this guy. I would love to be able to get a hold of him again. If I tried, I probably could do it. I get kind of lazy sometimes and don't do things I probably should. This is our friend Stephanie. She's sometimes in the chat. Stephanie Beatty. And she's involved with the paranormal investigations around our area. And we've been invited to go with her on one to Pythian Castle. And I would really like to do that. Graham posted something. Orson Welles' assessment of Woody Allen. Oh, wow. I guess Orson didn't like him. Socks posted another one here. Let's check out what you said, Socks. A brand new Mikeyverse post, a brand new Geekosity Mag post written by Mikey Sutton. Ezra Miller won't be recast in The Flash. We didn't expect him to. I really didn't believe, because the rumors came in through Mikey that Zaslav was wanting to shit can the movie and just shelve it. He was so fucking angry. He was raging around the studio. People were terrified, hiding in their offices. And but $200 million, you don't fucking shelve that. You do not shelve that. So they're just going to finish. Oh, that's a great photo. Yeah, Steve Niles. Yeah, I love that one. That was such a weird movie. I can't remember. Was that Empire of the Ants? I think that. I'm not sure. I think that might be what that was. James Hong pop. I'm glad that said popped and not pooped up in my feed. And yeah, I know. Anytime you see a favorite actor pop up in your feed, your heart jumps. Mine does. My heart jumps because I'm like, oh no, oh good. I'm so grateful when it's not a report of somebody dying. Highlanders defeated the Nazis. Who drew that? Oh, Thomas Peake. I'm friends with Thomas. His father is Bob Peake. This is Bob Peake artwork. Bob Peake was just a big movie poster artist, just amazing. I think one of my favorite posters was of Jack Nicholson and Marlon Brando that he did for the Missouri Breaks. Beautiful artwork. I wish I was that kind of poster artist. Eh. I love that. Because if there's anybody, and I love Chris. Chris is a close friend of mine. He's my brother. And I mean, we're listed as brothers. And he's a police officer in a small town. I won't say what town it is. And he's big on doing the same thing, giving opinion. So I see the irony in this joke. Let's see. I made a crop circle this. That's funny. This is my friend Dina Sanders, who hopefully will one day be a part of Pop Culture Minefield in our marketing, because I've known her for a long time, since the 90s, and we've worked together for years. And she's probably one of the best sales reps I've ever met. She can sell you anything. People have blown up much more money on lesser things, but Ezra is such a blight. It might be better if they did shelve it. The problem is God, I'm not allowed to talk about something. There's a certain person involved with that film that Warner owes. They're obligated to, and that is playing a big part in it too. So I'm not going to say who it is. Anybody else watch Me TV? I like watching Me TV. I like classic TV. But let's head over to Twitter. Boom. Let's look at Twitter. What's in the feed today? What's in the feed? Hey, Nerd Cookies. I'd like to take a moment to appreciate the sheer awesomeness of Oscar Isaac's Duke Leto. I agree. Great role. Yep. Eric, you are correct. I don't know if you're here today. Real Wits here. Hey, Pat S is here. What's up? I never could see Ezra Miller as the Flash. Look, the guy can't even run. They had to CG manipulate his body to get it to look less weird. He looks like he's trying to swim through air. It's really bizarre looking. And apparently he's not athletic and he never ran in school. And I'm like, how do you, because didn't he have gym class? Probably was a profile, as we call them in the military, we call them profiles. People who can't do gym in the military, people who can't do PT, physical training. Some of the shit I come. Kylog, what do you think? Yes. All right. Breaking news: turns out Elizabeth Olsen never met while filming Doctor Strange. Wonder what it is. Spoilers. I stray away from politics. They end up in my feed because I like people. And sometimes they post a lot of politics. I ignore it. What I'm looking for is their interactions about sociopolitics. Gravewalkers. Uh-oh. Yeah, I could care less about that movie. Oh, Fantastic Four. Yeah, I heard about Bryce Dallas Howard rumors. Yeah. I like her. I think she's good at directing. I was really surprised at how she did. I liked what she did on Mandalorian. She would officially be a DIF if she got the job. She already is a DIF for me. War Monkey is here. What is up, brother? Yeah, and I think it's a problem, man. You know, all the shit that was coming out about Pattinson was just disheartening. And this is something that people don't use enough, that you really do. When you, as a fan, when you want to see something, and with a certain amount of expectations because of other actors who have taken on roles similar or the same, and what they put into it, when you see an actor do that, it becomes disheartening. And people don't use that enough. We use other things like, I hate that. I'm angry about that. Get to the crux of it. Why do you hate it? Because it's disheartening when you see something like that happening. And we see a lot of it in Hollywood. These people that get these roles that don't deserve the role. Lindsay, yeah, you don't like politics either. Look, my politics are my personal politics. I will talk with my friends with it privately, but I don't want to talk politics in public. I think that's something that was ingrained in people my age. You keep that shit to yourself. It's nobody's fucking business unless it's a close friend of yours that you trust enough to talk about. I mean, it's like talking about your favorite sex position. In my opinion, it falls into the same category, because sometimes your positions in sex and in politics are embarrassing. I got to be honest. Gerry, do you think Tron 3 will be made down the line, and will Jurassic Park movie be good? Look, I got to tell you something. One, I would love to see another Tron movie, despite the bad CG on Jeff Bridges' face. I mean, they could fix that now. They could take the time and just deep fake his face and make it better. But I got to tell you, I love Colin Trevorrow. I do. If you've never read his Star Wars script for the third Star Wars sequel, it would have fixed everything. It would have fixed everything. Kennedy couldn't have that. Rian Johnson and the Star Wars writer group would not allow that. Trevorrow was unceremoniously booted. I don't think he was fired, but he was booted and said, "We don't want your opinion. We don't want your fucking story." And but then he turns right around and writes one of the most atrocious scripts I've ever watched as a movie. Was the last Jurassic World movie. I mean, that little girl is a fucking monster. She's a fiend for doing what she did. There's no, she did it because she loved. No, she is murdering people and doesn't care. She's a clone with no soul, if you believe in that sort of thing. And I fucking hated that last movie, man. And I said, if they don't kill that little bitch in this movie, have her eaten, ironically eaten by that which she so sought to protect. It reminds me of that movie, The Creature Wasn't Nice, and Patrick McNee plays the ship's doctor when they find this monster, and he's defending it. It's a parody of all the alien monster movies of the past. And he climbs into the cage with this alien, and he's like, "It's friendly. It wants to be friends." And it rips his arm off and starts like licking it and shit. And he goes, "Oh, look, he wants to play." And that's how I look at that. When you see a character releasing that little girl releasing those dinosaurs, but instead of her being destroyed by them, she's unleashing these things on Earth. And Jeff Goldblum's character said it in the first film that, nature made its choice. And she is trying to unnaturally tip the balance the other way by doing that. I know she has to be aware of it. She's not fucking stupid at that age, but she is insane, and I do believe she's evil for doing it. Keith is the same way. Keith and I hated that. Keith and I have talked ad nauseum about how much we fucking want that girl dead at the beginning of the movie. And if they don't kill her, I'm not going to go see it. And I love Colin Trevorrow. Well, nobody can work with Kathleen Kennedy and not walk away with a little post-traumatic stress, man. Nobody. That woman, she's terrible. She's a terrible showrunner or producer. She's terrible. Apparently, the one thing I know she's good at is coffee. Hold on, was that? She cares more about cloned dinosaurs than actual people. That was the point. That we're like, how can you be okay with that as a writer? How can you not look at that and realize that's horror? That is sheer horror what she did. That's not an uplifting ending. That is horror what she did. She's Adolf Hitler releasing the Nazis on the world. Eaten in mid-speech, like, yeah. I think that that character has to die for the series to work. Otherwise, it's sort of like another film where a villain at the end is destroyed by what they did because of something else involving another version of themselves, and suddenly they're not evil anymore, even though all the fucking evil shit they did. It's like, could you imagine that? Could you imagine Adolf Hitler going, "Oh my God, this was wrong, what I did. I'm sorry. I'm going to be a better person." Do you think people would have fucking forgiven him for that? Huh? Destroying millions of fucking lives? Millions? Fuck, man. Kevin Feige and Disney, man. Fuck them. I'm done with Disney Plus. I'm not going to watch anything else on there. Everyone wants to do what is right in their own eyes. Yeah. Well, that's what makes a good villain. But the problem is when you have a writer that doesn't recognize they just wrote a fucking horrific villain. Because, they thought they were doing the right thing. Every villain thinks they're doing the right thing. The best villains in the world think they're doing the right thing. They just are unaware of how evil or crazy they are. I admit Doctor Strange 2 will suck, but I am the only one I want to see it at least once in theaters. Look, go see it, dude. I loved 80% of that movie. I enjoyed 80% of it. 20% of it, I did not enjoy. I hated part of it. Not all 20%. I just was annoyed or irritated and displeased. And then about 8% of the film just fucking pissed me off because it was so blatantly insulting to the intelligence of the audience. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. That girl, they understood in The Walking Dead. The girl was evil. She had to die. They understood it in that script. There's good writing in that show. I stopped watching it after a certain point when it got a little too woke for me. But then I switched over and I watched the shit out of Fear the Walking Dead because it's better than The Walking Dead now. how, when you say little kid, if they're under 12, no, maybe, all right. 12, I might. If my kid was 12 years old, I might take him to see it. Under that, the fear factor and some of the shit going on, moments of terror, I wouldn't take an 11-year-old. Unless that's like one really intelligent, emotionally together 11-year-old. Yeah, The Walking Dead is dead. I will never watch it again. I have friends like, why won't you watch it? And I'm like, because I think it's dumb now. I left when they killed the kid, Carl. When they killed Carl, I'm like, that's it. You've killed the heart of the show one too many fucking times. I'm done. And I walked away. I didn't care if they got, what's his name, with the baseball bat. I didn't care. Didn't care. All I cared about is that they killed Carl. And I'm like, that's it. I'm out of here. Has some issues, but it looks amazing. No, look, every time I say something critical, people think that I don't like it. And it's not true. It's just there are parts of that film I fucking don't like. But I'm going to tell you again, 80% of that movie was very enjoyable. I enjoyed the crap out of it. I love the humor. Sam Raimi. I'm connected into the Detroit Mafia because I have worked with Bruce Campbell, and I work with regularly Josh Becker, who is part of the Detroit Mafia. He was involved with all the films all the way back, Evil Dead, all the shit they made when they were younger. I mean, he's the one who made all the short films with Bruce Campbell that ended up on that VHS tape that's really famous. All the Bruce Campbell short films, Three Stooges comedy and shit that they did. I liked how they started to play rock music when Scarlet Witch was using the Darkhold to look into the multiverse. I don't even remember that. I don't remember that. I'm going to go back and watch it. I don't remember that. I'll have to go see that. Negan. Yeah. Thank you, Dust Wolfen. And I thought Negan was a great character. And I loved Morgan playing him. What's his name? Dean. I forget his fucking full name. He's great. I wish that he is going to, there's this wish in me that if they are doing Thomas Wayne, that he's Thomas Wayne. But my fear that Hamada, hating Zack Snyder, went a different direction, because the rumor is that Thomas Wayne is going to be played by Michael Keaton. And that breaks my heart. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I got two parts of his name, Dean Morgan. Okay. Started running his mouth about toxic fans. And look, man, you got to separate these fucking people, because every actor, 90% of the time, are fucking assholes in real life. I mean, I've met tons of them, and I have only had a handful that I've met that I like. You got to separate. I don't listen to what they say. They're fucking idiots, man, but they're good in roles. And so, there's rock stars, man, that have done some questionable fucking shit. I still listen to their fucking music. Come on, man. Come on, man. It's my Biden impression. Come on, man. Anyway, look, man, if you don't like him, that's your shtick. But I absolutely, because what are you going to do? You're going to hit a point where you can't watch anything anymore if you start judging what you're watching based off of the shitheels that are in it. You're painting yourself into a corner for entertainment. I couldn't do that. You really need to watch WandaVision to get Doctor Strange 2. You don't need to. Yeah, because that's really what it is. To me, that is not Doctor Strange 2. It's WandaVision movie based off the series. Yeah. Because even though it's like 60% Doctor Strange and 40% Wanda is such a prominent character, even in scenes she's not there, she's having an impact on. So she's always there. Jeffrey Dean Morgan had a long trail back from Red Dawn remake. Oh, yeah, that was bad. The film made me want to swerve into oncoming traffic. Yeah, it was really bad. I didn't even want to see it. I only watched it so I could write a review about it. And it was pretty garbage. But his movie, The Losers. God, I fucking love that movie. And I got to tell you, Morgan really does have a cool edge to him when he does roles. And when he was a regular, semi-regular on Craig Ferguson's show as a guest, and he showed up drunk one night, and it was one of the best fucking moments in television history when he was drunk. Actually, Eddie Izzard did the same thing, showed up drunk on Craig Ferguson, and it's just fucking great. And Eddie ended up throwing furniture. It's really hilarious. And Craig Ferguson is a lot like Norm Macdonald in that he really comes off with his humor as I don't really give a fuck. I'm just going to roll with this. And that's why I love Craig Ferguson. He's also really good at interviews. I've met Bruce Campbell. He was every bit as cool as I thought he would be. Ironically enough, when I told him he was my hero, he said, "You know what they say, never meet your heroes." Yeah, that sounds like something Bruce would say. Bruce also said, because I know Bruce also said in my presence when this kid says, this is way back and in the 90s, and this kid was asking his question, how do you explain the differences between the Evil Dead films? When there's, if they're a trilogy, why does the next film forget the first film? And then the next film forgets both the first films, which is not totally true because there's stuff in Army of Darkness from Evil Dead 2. And what I've always understood is that Evil Dead 2 is technically a remake with more happening at the end of the first Evil Dead. And I think it's a better film by far. But Bruce is standing there when this kid's asking a question, and he goes, well, clearly it's the tumor in your brain. And the kid's like, I do not have a tumor. It's not a tumor. And Bruce responds back, "Are you sure? Because there's something wrong up there." And I've shit on Bruce in person. I've mocked him to his face and made Josh Becker laugh. And they're childhood best friends. They are absolute best friends. Hi, PJO. Glad you enjoyed it. Southern Viking says, one of my favorite late night talk show stories when Rickles breaks Carson's cigarette. Oh my God, dude. And Carson fucking walks from his set all the way over to Rickles' set from CPO Sharkey where they're shooting and interrupts the shooting. And Don Rickles has this mixture of fucking horror and adoration and love, but fear. There's a fear in Rickles because he knows his ass is grass because he broke Carson's cigarette box and he did it on air. And I thought that was one of the funniest moments in late night history. Yeah, I agree with you, dude. That was a great moment. Well, there is a recap of it, but it's not a real recap because all the things that happen again. It's really weird. Evil Dead 2 is an odd film, the way they did it. And it caused a lot of fans consternation. They were really like, what is going on here? And that's really what was going on with that kid when he did that at the convention. Gomer Kyle, what is this? Yeah, Evil Dead 2 is brilliant and really shows his acting chops. Yeah, it's comedy. Because, he came up doing those short films with Josh Becker. And he loves slapstick. And that was his chance to do horror and slapstick. For years, I loved the Army better till I got older. Because I was, for like a couple of years, I was still in the Army when it came out. And I thoroughly enjoyed it and I loved it. But when it really comes back to it, I'm more of an Evil Dead 2 fan myself. And Empire is absolutely the best Star Wars film ever made. It's the only film where George Lucas didn't get to dictate how things went. Irving Kershner was his teacher. George Lucas had been trying to get him, And the only way he could get him to direct a Star Wars film was to agree to his rules, Irvin's rules, which is, it's my film. I will follow your script, but it is my film. I'm going to shoot it my way. And it is the best Star Wars film because of that. And I don't like shitting on George Lucas because I love the man, but he is a big picture guy. He is really not about the minutia, and he doesn't understand some things within even his own stories. And that's why when he hired some of the writers that he did, in fact, one of the writers died, and they would have written the rewrite of Empire Strikes Back as well as Return of the Jedi, but because of their death, it was a lady. She used to work on shows like Twilight Zone, shit like that. She's a great fucking writer. And she had a name that sounded like a man because she didn't want her being a woman to impact her career. So she took on a name that sounded like it was a guy's name. I saw an interview with Bruce Campbell. He explains what Evil Dead 2 is to its to a requel. His words, it's because when they made that film, they couldn't get the rights to the... Oh, yeah, that's right. Different studio. Nobody listened to George in the sequels, and they sucked so bad. Well, that's just it. They should have listened to him because he has that big picture thing, the overarching idea that you should stick to, and get a writer in there that knows what they're doing. JJ's not that writer. He stopped being able to write in the 2000s. Phantom Menace is better than most people give. No, I like aspects of Phantom Menace, but I'm just not a fan of the prequel trilogy because I didn't like the dialogue. The dialogue is really bad. And that's Lucas. Lucas is terrible at writing dialogue. He really creates great moments, though. But the problem is, you know, and I loved how Ford, Fisher, and Fisher worked as a script doctor on a lot of the stuff. She helped fix a lot of the stuff. She was a very good script doctor. And Mark Hamill, all of them agreed that, you know, and it's, you even hear Harrison Ford say this, you can write this stuff, or was that Mark Hamill that said that? It was Mark Hamill. You can write this stuff, but you can't say it. Yeah. Yeah, virtual. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'd venture to say that even though it's really terrible, it is better. Oh, is Captain Phantom Nerd here? I missed it. I get to talking. Oh, hello, Captain Phantom Nerd. Yeah, I missed that. Yes, I read it and I didn't even recognize who said it. Damn it, I apologize. Oh my God, yeah, it is. I think it is on YouTube. It's so fucking amazing. But yeah, Floral. I would say that of the prequel films, I think Phantom Menace is the best. The mistake they made is the way they did Jar Jar. Jar Jar was distracting from the film, you know, and they're trying to say, "Oh, he's the C-3PO." It's no, we had C-3PO. They shouldn't have done that. Jar Jar should have been written more seriously, less silly. I know it's about selling toys, but don't be fucking assholes about it. I think that he should have been a character that you could respect a little more. And I think that if they'd done that, it wouldn't have happened. Good morning, Darius Munchausen. How are you doing, my good friend? But I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Jar Jar. You know, Jar Jar was just not a very well written character. And the moment I had made concrete that George Lucas was a big picture guy and not a guy that should be in charge of the day-to-day operation of telling a story was when he was caught on camera looking at the storyboards of the scene where you meet Jar Jar, and he says, "This is his story." He was the Luke Skywalker of the story, not Anakin. I also thought it was a bad idea getting that kid to play Anakin. I think that what's his name that plays him later should have played him all the way through. They should have had him because he talks about circular storytelling where things come back around. Well, here you go. Here's your great opportunity that Anakin, like Luke, was adopted to be a Jedi older than what most younglings are. We prefer them when they're toddlers. Whereas Anakin would have been a great moment, would have been him, because how old would he have been? He would have been about 14 when the first film came out. That's a good age. And he easily could have said he was 12 at 14. Because I've seen pictures of him. He should have played Anakin all the way through the trilogy. And Jake Lloyd's life is fucked because they used him and then let him loose in the world and left him to his own devices. And I think that's fucking wrong. You should be careful using kids. I think that was wrong to use a kid. Puppets stick together. It is true, Martin. Let's see. What do we have here? War Monkey. Hold on. I want to see what War Monkey said. I saw interviews by the Jar Jar actor. What's his name? Ahmet Best, I think is his name. The movie, and he never bothered me in the movie. Besides that, look, if he had just stuck to straight across playing the character instead of going for the goofy shit that they threw in, I think you would have done fine. And I feel bad for that actor. I mean, he got suicidal over the shit. And this is all, again, goes back to George Lucas and mishandling. He shouldn't have done what he did. He should have done the prequel trilogy the same way he did the original trilogy, which is oversee, because he's really good at the overseeing things, and have another writer write the dialogue and write the scenes, and then have the fucking other people edit it. Because he doesn't know how to edit. I've heard people say he's a really good editor, but he is nowhere near as good as his ex-wife. Nowhere near as good. And that's why she got the Oscar. The editing on the prequel trilogy wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. Hello, Purple. How are you doing today? In jolly old England. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. There you go. Now we've got everybody in Australia too. And I haven't seen Brett Cohen this morning. But my coffee's almost empty, so the show's almost over. That is yummy coffee. I love it. Fandom Collective has shared us. We will like it, and we'll reshare theirs. A lot of people know I actually do share a lot of people's stuff. Even sometimes I just rush through and I look to see who posted it, and then I just automatically share it because I think that's what you should do. I think we should be going through and helping our friends in our network. We are a network of people that have a common goal. Yes, definitely going to share this one. Lady Gravemaster going to share that one. And Six said, "Did you see that thing you shared one time to me?" And I said, I didn't read it. I just shared it because it's a person that I follow and they follow me. And then I went back and looked and went, "Oh, I don't want to share that." and I appreciated Six telling me that. But the fact is, she learned that that's what I do, and that's why I've heard her actually say that to people. Friend Gerry, because he'll share your stuff. I will share people's stuff. Oh God, Bill the Cat. That's awesome. Okay. That's Mike Barron, by the way. I work with him. I'm doing that comic book with him. This is political. Get away from that. Chris Pratt. What the fuck? Perched in my trailer wearing infrared mask, face mask with ice packs on my eyes. Whatever it is, it would probably hurt my feelings. All right, I got to show that. That's weird. Yep, got to share that one. I'm a friend of people on Twitter. I think you should do stuff like that. Let's see. Well, in that case, I'm only 16 people to 200 subs. Oh, sweet. I need to check something, Floral, because I have multiple accounts that I manage YouTube, and I want to make sure that all of them are subbed to you. So I'm going to take care of that after the show. I'm not going to do it during the show because I can't show you what clients I have that I've done work for. But I will tell you, one of them is Josh Becker. His official YouTube channel, I manage it. Gerry shares things like Peaches shares his meet with Cecil. You had to turn it gay. Or is that gay when it's Muppets? I don't know. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. I do. I love liking other people's stuff, and makes me feel good. Every time I click like on something somebody else posted, I don't know who this is. I'm going to like it. I'm not going to share it because I don't know them. Baron, I'm going to like this. Am I in there? There I am. Ha ha ha. We are. Yes, we're in your sphere of influence. That's awesome, Baron. I'm going to share it. And I'm going to quote. Yay. Famous now. Baron will be on with us on Saturday, I do believe. He may be on Friday, but I think for sure he's going to be on with us Saturday. No, Friday, we've got select panelists. So he will not be on with us Friday. We're only going to have, Purple will be part of the show on Friday because it's our interview with Chuck Dixon. And Purple's a big comic fan and a big fan of Chuck Dixon. Yeah, I'm going to let you get back to doing it, Martin. But let's keep scrolling. See some more news. What? Yeah, I agree with you. Fuck them. I'm going to share that one. Fuck them a lot. Maria, middle of the week and early. Okay. Not going to share it because I'm not a big fan of Mark Antony. This is Han Solo. Han open carries, hates trade regulations and tax fees, and opposes imperial overreach. Be like Han. Yeah, I like that. I don't care. Go with Brandon. Almost gone. Show's almost over, guys. Oh, small screen. Break. Oh. Yeah, I don't really care about that. I'm not watching anything else on Disney Plus. After the debacle of the ending of Moon Knight and how they did a bait and switch on us and how they didn't even use the comic characters correctly. They had a really good chance to really adapt it and make interesting characters. And they ignored the comic and did their own thing and did the bait and switch thing. And I'm like, all right, fuck you guys. Keith and I both agree on this. Completely simpatico. Fuck Disney Plus. Burn me once, shame on you. Burn me twice, shame on me. So you made me get mad at myself for believing that you might get something right. Fuck you, Disney Plus. Probably Squeakers and Fortnite wanting me to carry them. Yeah. But we need to know. Oh, what was that? What was it we needed to know? That was probably something I was looking at. Yeah, I'm done. The coffee is done. Oh, got to share Sill's thing. Here we go. I'm just going to retweet it. What the fuck? Oh, wow. Oh, I get what you're saying, Eagle, but that's crazy. Nobody likes Band-Aids being seen to begin with. So that's kind of interesting. I'm glad they did that. Yeah, I think I'm done. I'm done scrolling. Let me look at notifications real quick. Anything new? Oh, Floral had something to say. Geriatric from Pop Culture Minefield. Oh my God, choke on a bag of dicks, buddy. We'll be dancing forever. No, I'm not dancing. I might groove a little bit. No, I'm not dancing. Drummers don't dance, motherfucker. It's Courtney. Comedy comes in threes. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you. It really makes me sad, but yeah, I understand you set your privacy settings, so I can't share anything you post. It makes me sad because I like sharing stuff, my friends. And I think we're caught up. We are caught up. Let's see. Let's get to the last comments. But we need to know, Gary. I'm not sure what we were talking about there, buddy. I'm sorry. All right, let's get to purple. I had high hopes for it too. I even forgave him for that episode 2 because technically episode 1, 2, and 3 should have been one episode. Your episode 1 was act 1. Episode 2 is the introduction of the wife, and that's what that was all about. And then episode 3 was the third act. And I just think I think whoever's in charge of doing the stories really don't know what they're doing. They really don't know how to structure stories or create interesting and awesome characters, because that's what you need. If you're going to do a show like that, every single character has to be interesting and awesome in some way. And they don't. They're bland. I was very disappointed with that fucking show and their writing. Mark Antony song. I don't listen to Mark Antony. I'm sorry, Gomer. Disney problems are self-inflicted because, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're creating every problem. They're like the Pink song. I'm my own worst enemy. Drummers dance with their pedals. I said that one time to a girl years ago because I don't know what it was about her. She asked me to dance. We got on a dance floor and she started doing this fucking, I don't know what, it was like striptease stuff on a pole kind of dancing. And I like stopped and I'm like, and I said to her, I said, as loud as I could say, because the music was booming. And I said, that's not dancing. That's masturbation to music. And she's like, what? And I'm still just standing there. And she goes, aren't you going to dance? And I leaned in so I know she could hear me. I said, I'm sorry, drummers don't dance. And I walked away from the dance floor. It's in one of my scripts. I wrote a script off that whole story of what happened in that period. A lot of funny shit. My life's like a fucking wackadoodle dramedy. And, but I said that to a girl. And I still stand by it to this day. I used to break dance. My daughter freaked out when I taught her how to moonwalk. She goes, you know how to moonwalk? Like, yeah, I know how to moonwalk. And I taught her how to do it. She's like, wow, my dad did weird shit when he was young. I remember back sitting out in the street with my other skater buddies, Jim Woodward and those guys. And someone would pull out a cardboard box and open it up and start breakdancing on it. I didn't do that kind of breakdancing. I was not that athletic. Yeah, you wish I did. I never liked Pink. My daughter really got into her when she was little, and it annoyed me. But I gotta admit, it's good music. I like her. She knows how to write a hook in a song. She's probably one of the better writers in the 2000s for writing hooks. But the other girl that came from Disney that hated Britney Spears, I consider her a better singer, and I like her music more, even though I think she's a complete diva too. They're all divas. I would not want to be in a room with any of them. Yeah, you did too? No shit. Yeah, man, the 80s. Yeah. I was watching Electric Callboy video. I don't even know what that is, dude. You lost me on that one. Notice that drummers do drum on a treadmill. The fuck are we talking about here? Okay, you need to friend me on Twitter, dude, and send me that. I want to see that. I did not. It's not true. I was not a fan of Milli Vanilli. Christina Aguilera. My God, what a voice. She's got some pipes. Yeah, both of you. Thank you, Monkey. Thank you, Darius. Yeah, Sherry. You better get back to memeing. Blame it on the rain. I saw that. Fuck you. That's why Sherry is my favorite for quotes like that. Yep. If you don't have her in your group chats on Twitter, you are missing the best in life, as Conan would say. He said the crushing enemy before you, and the lamentation of the women, whatever that line is. This time it's watching Sherry's memes, and she's memeing. If you talk to Bruce, tell him Gomer loves all his stuff. I don't know. I've tried to get him on the show, but he's fucking busy. It's crazy. It's like I usually hear about what Bruce is up to more from Josh, because when I call Josh wants to, Gary, how are you? Wow, let me tell you, Bruce told me, and that's how I hear Bruce Campbell stuff is through Josh. Uh-oh, it's gone. This is it. But if I get him on here, you'll get a chance to say it to him. I'm going to keep trying. And last, I love Brisket. Oh my God, yeah. Look, I don't understand why it got canceled, because he does have a big fan following. But I will tell you, Bruce's fans can also be assholes, because they were complaining when they canceled Bruce Campbell versus the Evil Dead series. They were complaining about it. And my response to him was, then you should have watched the fucking show. You should have subscribed and watched the fucking show. Yeah, it's behind a paywall, but they didn't. They wanted to watch it for free. Everybody was wanting to watch it free. They didn't want to pay for the well, then chalk it up to experience. If you'd watched it through Stars, I think it was through Stars, the show would have kept going, but you didn't. So blame it on yourself. And I blame it on people like this whole thing about Save Batwoman. It's like, you save shows by fucking watching them, not by doing campaigns. That worked with Star Trek because Nielsen ratings did not know there were that many fans of Star Trek, and that many people wrote in. And Paramount, CBS realized, oh shit, let's renew it for one more season. But things happen, and Gene Roddenberry walked away. I just saw that. Let's see what's going on. Nothing new. All right. And part of the problem with season 3 of Star Trek was that Gene did walk away. I mean, we still had the other Gene L. Kuhn, but Gene Roddenberry was busy planning other stuff because he felt like he'd been screwed somehow. And so he, in my opinion, he betrayed the trust of everybody working on Star Trek by doing what he did. And that's why, I think there was hard feelings between some of the cast and Gene going on when the movies and everything else happened. And because Gene would do things that were for Gene, not for the best of everybody working. Gene L. Kuhn was different, though. Gene L. Kuhn was something else. And if you've never read his writing about working on Star Trek, you don't know shit about Star Trek. Keith and I are big fans of Gene L. Kuhn. And But I want to say that it's been fun hanging out for an hour and a half. I made that coffee last, even though I probably could have finished it right at an hour, but I got busy talking. But that's what this show's about, me just blathering about shit. But we are now at the end of the show. I want to thank you all for being here. Yeah. Going off on for like 5. We're leaving Monkey, so you can just stick around for the end. Thanks, Gerry, for everyone in the chat. Thank you for being here, Vor Monkey. And I want to thank Arwen Avalon, Captain Fandom Nerd, Darius Munchausen, Das Wolfen, Dave, Bob was here. I missed that. I hate that when I miss people. D. Bud Martin, Floral, of course. Thank you for being here, buddy. Gomer Kyle, Ironcaster, Isaj Muwodi. I think I got that right this time. Courtney, thank you for being here. Or as I call her now, it's Oddballs it's Oddballs Fellowship of Courtney. Kylock, thanks for being here, buddy. LDG, Lindsay, the cynical geek. You're not the only cynical geek, my friend. I'm very cynical. Loki's Mornings of Mischief. I missed Loki. Fuck you, Loki. I love you, buddy. Lord Thoth, of course, man. God, you're such a cool dude. Monkey Jeebus. I couldn't imagine doing a show and not have you pop in. It would freak me out if I didn't see you. Parrot Head was here. Pat S, of course, just a great guy. I love having him in my life. Pops, real wit. Socks Bulletin was here. Southern Viking. I wonder if there's a Yankee Viking. I like to make a Yankee Viking. Stone Pie Media was here. Dude, awesome. Storyman Jack, the man. Peter Vinkman Fansite. I love that stuff, man. War Monkey, of course, you're badass. And Zakarot 315 was here. I want to thank all of you for popping in and hanging out with me. I wouldn't do these shows if you guys weren't so fucking awesome. I'm serious. I would just go fucking make a model kit. But I like hanging out with you guys. It's so much fun. I wish we could I would actually love a time when we figure out how to have a live audience and have you guys be able to watch, live on the show. Have you I would just, God, because I love working with a live audience. That's one of the things I enjoyed when I did stand-up comedy as well as acting, because I did a lot of stage acting and I enjoyed interacting. And in fact, I knew that I was doing my job on one show when I delivered a line. I was playing I would not say a misogynist. He was an absolute sexist and a user as a personality type. He was a user of women. And he was a psychotherapist that was sleeping with all of his female patients. And it was in a little play called Beyond Therapy. And I delivered a line. And after I said it, there was a woman in the back of the audience that said loud enough for everyone to hear, "What an asshole." And I was so proud that I had nailed that character enough for her to say that. But that's life, man. I love performing. I love talking to you guys. So this is a little of both. And I've never done a nude scene, Darius. Here's the sad thing before I close out. I've almost always been picked to play comical roles. I don't get the leading man part. I get the guy that's either the best friend. Like when I did Shakespeare, I always played the lead character's best friend. I played Mercutio several times. I even got stabbed for real. Stunt went wrong, and an epee tip lost the ball on the end and poked me in the stomach and went right through. And I went, that was the look I had on my face. I was like, because when you feel and hear that pop in your body of your skin breaking like that, because you can't hear it through your body, because your body is 70% fluid, water, and it travels. But I finished the scene and it was fine. It didn't even go through the muscle, it just poked through the skin. But I did a lot of historical plays. I love doing historical plays, but I was in a lot of comedies. And the reason was because, the directors, and it was a handful of directors I worked with over the years. It was always a lot of the same people, and they liked me. they would get me to come back to play a very similar character. I was typecast in comical relief roles, and I have good delivery, and I make funny faces that would just amuse the crowd. I believed in being a character actor. I think that you should play. You should be playing all the time. And it's stupid. And I know some of my favorite actors in film did this too, and it to the annoyance of other actors that were starring in the film. And one such actor, I can't remember his name. He was doing a scene with Jimmy Stewart, and in the scene, he kept fiddling with two objects that were on the desk. And Jimmy Stewart says, I'm going to do this scene, but I'm not going to do it with him unless you only give him one of those items. He can't have both. He'll steal the scene. Nobody will notice me in the scene. And that's how it happened. Strother Martin was the actor's name, Jimmy Stewart and Strother Martin. And Strother Martin is one of those guys that would steal a scene. Other guys stars in the scene, but what Strother Martin is doing would distract the audience. And movie stars hated that, but they loved him because he was really good. But that's what I always strove to be when I was doing acting. But I love stage acting. I've done all the work on film, though. I'm behind the camera because there was a point where I think that all the stage was to teach me how to understand acting so I could be a director. And I like directing. I really do. But I don't like a lot of actors because they're douche nozzles. So I did a few films and then I stopped doing them. I'd rather work on comic books where I don't have to deal with people's fucking problems. Comic book characters don't annoy me. But with that, I'm going to end this show.
How dare you!
No, I've got to end the show. I'm sorry.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Ending shows. It really does. It makes me sad. And I love you guys. I really do. You guys are great. I love reading the stuff you post on Twitter, and I love it when you guys interact with me in the chat here. It's my favorite part of doing this is you guys. And there would be no show without you. I mean it. So thanks, guys. Thank you for showing up. I thank you for supporting this channel and supporting Keith and I and what we do. And I look forward to seeing you guys some more. Hold on. I like writing much better. My friends compare me to Mel Brooks. That's good. You really need to friend me. I want to talk to you. You've already piqued my interest, man. That's what I did most of my acting in high school and my first semester in community college in '91. If you liked it, you should go back and try it again. Dinner theater. I've done a lot of dinner theater. Yeah, because I didn't act for free. I was a professional. I was card carrying. The only thing I've ever acted in was 6th grade Christmas show where I played Theodore from the Chipmunks Christmas. Did you do helium? High pitch your voice. Hard to get different parts when typecast. It keeps people from seeing the actor's versatility. Well, I say that, and then that one director brought me in to play Richard, Prince Richard in Lion in Winter. It was not a comical role. It was a very dramatic role. And so I would say that director did see my skill. And you know what I will tell you real quick before we go, the reason why is because one of my favorite things I used to do was go to nursing homes and read Shakespeare's sonnets. I would, sit on a stool and they would bring the people who still were engaging to come in and watch, and I would read Shakespeare's sonnets the way they were supposed to be read. And Ruth, her mother, she was my director I was talking about, and Ruth came in and saw me. And she's like, "Have you ever acted?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "I really want you in this. It's in one of my plays." And what's funny is before we did the play she wanted me for, we did another play together. And that was Beyond Therapy. And then she had me back to play Richard. And she always referred to me as her Richard because she said, nobody played Richard the way you did, which is I'm giant and I was wearing real armor and I'm very imposing on stage, and it was a lot of fun. She got me, and I know she's not watching, but I love you, Ruth. She runs the besides directing, she runs the regional library for Charleston, Illinois. So here we go. So we are kind of like Gary's bra supporting. Fuck you, monkey. Not all heroes wear capes. It is true, my friend. It is true. And with that, and with that, as Andre would say, let's get the hell out of here. Have a great day today. Don't forget, Stephen and I have a show tonight. I hope you guys come and join us. Stephen and I always have a good time. And tomorrow at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, new episode of the Scoop Zone. Sadly, without Sil, but we're trying to work it out because his work schedule changed. We got to figure out how to do it. It may change the time and night that it comes on, because I just don't want to do the show without my crew. It's a crew. We're a group. We're a band. And I don't want to lose my band. Anyway, I want to thank you all for being here. I love you guys. And I'll see y'all later. Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please make sure to like, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon for updates on our shows and channel. Also, please leave a comment, and we'd like to know what you thought of the episode, as well as letting us know if there's something you'd like us to cover in a future episode. Don't forget that you can become a member of Pop Culture Minefield now. Make sure to visit our membership page and merch store at popcultureminefield.com. You can always find Pop Culture Minefield on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch.